Okay, let's do this. What's good? What's good, everybody? Hey, Oriental, how you doing? Long time.
Man, doing all that I can to stay.
I'm good. I'm good. What's good, Mustafa Mane? How you doing, bro?
Every day, I'm being hard to this prey. My people don't want no trouble. We've had enough struggle. I just wanna live. God protect me. I just wanna live. I just wanna live. I'm a young black man doing all that I can.
Look here, man. We will listen to this. We will listen to this a cappella by this young black king. He literally became the voice of the black struggle in 2020. And man, you gotta check him out. His name is Kendron Bryant. Kendron Bryant, you can find him on Instagram as Kendron Bryant in one word, Kendron Bryant. He became the voice of the struggle. Like, he speaks to your soul with this song. Let's listen to this young king one more time, all right? Let's listen to this young king one more time.
I'm a young black man.
Preach.
Doing all that I can to stay. Oh, but when I look around and I see what's being done to my kind, every day I'm being hard to this prey. My people don't want no trouble. We've had enough struggle. I just wanna live. God protect me. I just wanna live. I just wanna live.
Look here, man. We don't mean no trouble. We don't need no trouble. At this point, we just want to leave. Just leave us alone. We just want to leave at this point. That's all we're asking us. Don't kill us. We just want to leave right now. Listen to the young king. Listen to this voice. Listen to this music. Listen to this. Listen to this. We just want to leave.
Doing all that I can to stay. Oh, but when I look around and I see what's being done to my kind, every day I'm being hard to this prey.
All day.
My people don't want no trouble.
Nope.
We've had enough struggle.
Preach, boy, preach.
I just wanna live. God protect me. I just wanna live. I just wanna live.
Check this out, man. Hello, everyone. This is your boy, Saikou Speak. Thank you for joining me. We need to have some one-on-one, heart-to-heart conversation today. The Black community is suffering. Our people are in pain. The struggle is real right now. Black people all over the world, people are reaching out to me. Black folks in Africa, Black folks in Europe, Black folks in Asia, Black folks in Canada, everywhere. Black folks are reaching out. Everybody expressing how frustrated, how hard it is right now for us. We are all with heavy hearts. But there are a few things that I feel like we also need to set the record straight. We need to make sure that people understand why our pain is coming from. We want few things that I want to make sure that we want to talk about, so that people understand why we're doing the things that we're doing, why we're saying the things that we're saying. Because a lot of people see us just being frustrated, right? They see all of this protesting, they see these riots happening across the US, right? They see people on social media angry, mad, right? They still don't quite understand, they still don't get it. And some people are just blatantly out there just spreading false rumors, false information that are not right. So I just want to make sure that we all have a conversation today. We have a heart-to-heart and we have few things. And before I get into the topic, I've been attacked in my inbox by some few people. Yes, I call it an attack because they don't know me and they're always trying to judge me based on information that they got from I don't know who knows what or where they got it from. But somebody even called me ignorant. He said that I'm fighting for Black Lives Matter, that I don't know nothing about Black lives in America because I'm a privileged kid who never live in the hood. He said I'm a privileged dude, I'm a privileged Black dude who never live in the hood. So I don't even know what I am talking about when I speak of Black Lives Matter. If I live in the hood, I will focus more on black crime in the hood instead of, you know, the lives of Black people outside trying to fight for Black Lives Matter. Those are all things that I want to make sure we set the records here, record straight. And somebody in Africa also hit me up in my inbox and said that I'm a privileged, African dude in America, that I don't know the African struggle in Africa, so I cannot speak up for all Black lives, or I can't speak up for Black lives everywhere. So people have their opinions and people have their ideas and what they think I am or what I am not. But this is not about me. And let me get that straight. This is not about me. This is about what you think of me, what you do not think of me. This is about the topic today, Black Lives Matter, right? But before I talk about it, I feel like I am qualified to have this conversation with my people. And if I need to give you a short rundown of my personal resume to make you understand why I am speaking on this, I will do that, if that's what I need to do. Some of you who know me, you know me as Saikou. I go by on social media by Saikou Speaks. I am an engineer by profession. I'm a motivational speaker and an author. But before that, I was Saikou Camara from West Africa, the Gambia. And for those of you who don't know, the Gambia is the birthplace of the most famous, arguably the most famous slave in history, Kunta Kinte. So yes, I am from the home country. I'm from the motherland of Kunta Kinte. When I came to the US, I lived in down south Mississippi. I went to a HBCU called Ross College in Holly Springs, Mississippi, the first historical Black college in Mississippi to allow Black people to get education after slavery. After Ross College, I went to another HBCU in Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi, so I get both of my degrees from HBCUs. I have lived in Mississippi for maybe about 6 years, right? So don't tell me I don't know about the Black struggle or I've never lived in the hood. I've lived in Memphis, Tennessee. For those who don't know, those who are from Memphis, Tennessee, I rep Memphis, Tennessee up to this day. I jokingly tell people Memphis, Tennessee is my home away from home. It's my city away from the home city. I live in Memphis, Tennessee, Hickory Hill and Winchester. Those who from Memphis or familiar with Memphis, they know what I'm talking about. The same city where Martin Luther King got assassinated. I stood in the same balcony that Martin Luther King got assassinated in. I visited the Martin Luther King Museum in Memphis, Tennessee. Don't tell me I don't know what the Black struggle is about. I have lived in Atlanta, Georgia, one of the what we call Black Hollywood in America. You don't tell me I don't know what black struggle is, or I don't live in the black hood. I live in Indiana, where some people argue that is the birthplace of the Ku Klux Klan, the birthplace of the racist Ku Klux Klan. I've lived in a town called Bloomington, Indiana, just a couple of hours from the same place where the Ku Klux Klans were founded, right? So don't tell me I don't know about the black struggle. When I first came to America, the first city, the first place I ever landed, where I spent my first summer, was on 16th Street, Harlem. All my African brothers who live in New York, they know what I'm talking about when you say 16th Street, right? Back then, when we're talking about Kinney's restaurant in Harlem, I ate too many lunch in that same Kinney restaurant in Harlem. The people from New York know what I'm talking about. My Senegalese, my Guinean, my Malian followers who are following me, when I talk about Harlem, they know what I'm talking about, right? The home of the Harlem Shake, the home of the Harlem Renaissance, right? I'm telling you, the home of the Apollo Theater. I'm telling you, that is the same place. That was the first city I landed in when I came into America. So my whole life, I spent it with nothing but with black people. So I have the license and I am qualified to speak on the black struggle. I am qualified to talk about the black pain all over the world. I have traveled to multiple countries in multiple continents, and everywhere I go, my first stop is the black barbershop, because I wanted to know what's up with the city. I want to know where my people are and where can I find my people anywhere I go. So the first place I visit is the black barbershop. If they don't have a black barbershop, I don't even spend too much time, right? I remember I was in Denmark one time, and I was in downtown Denmark, and I walked around the whole day looking for a black barbershop in downtown Denmark, and I couldn't find it. I was out. I was on the first flight out of the city, right? Straight to France. But that's my thing. I love my people, and everywhere I go, I look out for my people. So for some people who think that I am not qualified to speak on the black struggle or to talk for black people, I am not here to speak for every black person. Our struggle is not monolithic. Our struggle as black people is not monolithic. So there cannot be a single black voice to speak for all black people all over the world. But I am qualified to speak on black topics. And so for some people who doesn't know, not only do I talk about black, I write about black people. I log about the struggle and the agony, the pain, the plight of black people. Africa through a mirror. Check it out. I know what I'm talking about. I am qualified to talk about this. And in my inaugural book, Testimony of an African Immigrant, check it out. I've talked about some of the same things back then in 2018 that we are now talking about again in 2020. So I know what I'm talking about. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get straight to the point. Like, we're gonna get honest here, we're gonna get real. I'm not here to make people feel good. I'm not here to make people feel comfortable about what I'm about to say. I feel like there are too many misconceptions out there already, and I need to set the record straight. And I will start with my own people, man. I will start with my own African people, both Africans in Africa and Africans in America here. I have seen too many of us who feel like we are special, we are different, right? We came to America, we get some education, right? We attended some of the best universities, right? We enjoyed that. We enjoyed the privilege. We have nice jobs, nice corporate jobs in corporate America. We live in predominantly white communities, some of us now, right? We live in gated communities. We live in net apartments. We live in nice places, and we're enjoying that. I applaud every single person who enjoys some of these privileges. If you enjoy these amenities in America, if you have the education, the jobs, and all of that, I applaud you. I applaud your intelligence. I applaud your blackness. I applaud your greatness. I applaud your hard work that you put into yourself to be where you are. But brothers and sisters, make no mistake, you are not where you are solely because of your hard work and your intelligence. Let's break it down. Let's break it down real quick. Let's get into it, right? African Americans, we the Africans in America, we are sitting on the shoulders of the hard work of African Americans in this land. Whether you are a black man in the UK, whether you are a black man in France, whether you are a black man in America, you are sitting on the shoulders of the black people who were enslaved in these lands, in those lands, in the country that you're living in. Because of those people, they sacrificed. They had to fight to get out of slavery. Those people had to fight to get out of Jim Crow. Those people had to fight to make sure that they have affirmative action put in place so that some of us can come into this country and find employment in corporate America. Some of them has to fight and march when they were putting the barrels of guns in their face, when they have been shot at in these countries and while marching for freedom. They never relented. While they had police dogs chasing them down the streets while marching, they never relented. While they had water hoses and water pipes pumped at them, they never relented. While they have been cursed at, while they have been beat down, while they have been lynched hanging out on trees. I know these things I'm talking about. I live in Mississippi. I see some of those historical trees that are still in Mississippi where Black people used to be lynched at. These are facts that I'm talking about. Matter of fact, the college that I attended at my grad school is on a street called Lynch Street, named after the famous white man who came up with the great idea of lynching Negroes in this country, right? So some of us Africans are in this country today. We have the great job, yes. You have a nice education, yes. You are living in a nice neighborhood, yes. You came here, you get some form of a permanent residency, citizenship, whatever documentation you have that license you to stay here legally, never ever get it twisted. You are here in this country enjoying because the African American suffered. The African American died. The African American marched, and they're still marching up till today for you to enjoy some of those benefits that you are enjoying in the comfort of your home. So before you speak up and you speak ill of the African American community, before you dare speak about the African American community, ask yourself this question. If they had not died, will you even have a chance to live in this country? You will not be welcome in this country without their sacrifice. So never ever make that mistake again. I don't want to hear any African. I don't care how privileged you are. I don't care how much free amenities you're enjoying. I don't care how much education that you have. I don't care how much money you think you have today. I don't care how many white friends you think you have. You are in this country because African Americans died. They died for you to be in this country. You are enjoying because of they suffered. You are enjoying because they continue to suffer today. I know what I'm talking about. I have lived with it. I have seen it, and I'm now reporting it. And if you think that I'm not qualified to speak about this, check my resume. Check me out. Check the places I have been and the places I have visited. Check the places I have lived and the communities I have lived with. Check the works that I've done, the people that I've worked with. And I'm here reporting to all Africans. Don't get it twisted. We are living off of the sweat, blood, and tears of the African American community in America. And if you live in the UK, I am goddamn sure you are enjoying those benefits because of the Black people in the UK who struggled for you to be there. If you live in France, you are there because of the Black people in France who died and continue to struggle for you to enjoy the things and the life that you are enjoying in France. So let us never ever think that these people are our competition. Let's never ever think that they are our enemies. The African in the diaspora, the African American in America, the African in the UK, the African in France, these are our allies from day one. And for some of you in Africa who felt like you have never ever come to America or the UK or France or Europe, and you feel like you owe no loyalty or you have no alliances with the African American diaspora, let me break it down for you. I'm gonna take it back even before independence. And maybe if you don't know who W.E.B. Du Bois is, look him up. This cat is one of the smartest brothers you will ever see in this world. He's one of the most intellectual and intelligent Black men you will ever find. He is one of the co-founders of the Pan-African movement. Oh yeah, the Pan-Africanism we want to take pride of, it is founded in America by African Americans. Check it out, look it up. Don't take my word for it, right? Read books, Google this on your own. And I am telling you, this man and his wife, Shirley Graham Du Bois, these two people were very prominent in fighting for independent Africa. Matter of fact, Shirley Graham, the wife of W.E.B. Du Bois, was in Ghana, pre-independence Ghana. He was working with Kwame Nkrumah's people and his party, mobilizing the Ghanaian women politically, strategically, and politically while they were fighting for their independence. So the African Americans have always been the ally of the African even before independence. Not only were they fighting for their own freedom in America and Europe, they were also fighting for our independence in Africa. Check out what Shirley Graham did, the wife of W.E.B. Du Bois did. Matter of fact, when Ghana gained their independence, both Shirley and W.E.B. Du Bois denounced their American citizenship and moved to Ghana to work and build Ghana. We all, every African will agree that Ghana is the political maker for Africa. Ghana was the first British colony in Africa to gain their independence. And by default, with the exception of Liberia and Ethiopia, many Africans would agree with me that Ghana is the first African country to gain their independence, right? But guess who are behind them? The African American community. And some of you who don't even know more, let me take you a little bit further. The former president of Tanzania, the former president of Zambia, Kenneth Kaunda, check him out, read his autobiography. He formed the first non-violent movement in Zambia when they were fighting for their independence. He called it positive non-violence action. He got that from the books of Martin Luther King. He cheated, he pretty much studied that. He copied and pasted that from the Martin Luther King non-violence movement in America. That's how Kenneth Kaunda started his fight for independence in Zambia. In the 1960s, before Zambia gained their independence, he visited Martin Luther King in America for support and mentorship so that he can continue go back home and fighting for Africa's independence. So the African American have always been an ally to the African. I don't want to hear that mess anymore, right? And if you want to hear it even more further, let me take it even more further back. And by the way, I talk about some of these things in my book, Africa Through a Mirror. So this is not just things I'm saying. You can read it and look it up yourself. It's out there. These are facts, right? When Africa was fighting for their struggle way back in 1945, let me tell you something most of you don't know about. On the 5th Pan-African Congress in the United Kingdom, guess which leaders were in attendance, which African leaders? Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya, Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, and Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. In 1945, we are all in attendance in the UK, led by Marcus Garvey, the Garvey's movement, the Pan-African movement. And guess what one of the agendas was in that meeting? They were fighting for independent Africa. So the African American never ever forsake and forgotten where they come from. Even when they are in bondage, even when they were fighting for their own freedom, they never ever forgot and stopped to fight for the independence of Africa. So when I say we have a continent to build, I have African American people in mind. They are our allies. So when we say Black Lives Matter and you think that you are African and that doesn't affect you, I am telling you, let's just assume Black Lives Matter doesn't affect any other African. It only affects African Americans only. I am telling you, just because of historical purpose, because the African American have been our ally, then we owe it to them to make sure that we reciprocate the same love when they are fighting for their own rights as well. So this is a call to all Africans. You have an obligation, you have responsibility, and even a duty to make sure you stand up hand in hand to fight and speak up with your African American community. Because when things were hard, when things were difficult, when we had nowhere to look up to, the African American never forsake us. They stood by us. Whether it is Louis Farrakhan, whether it is Malcolm X, whether it is Marcus Garvey, whether it is W.E.B. Du Bois, whether it is Martin Luther King, African Americans have never failed to show their support to the African continent. So I'm glad that we get that out of the way. I don't want to hear any excuses. African Americans are our allies. Africans in the UK are our allies. Africans in France are our allies. We all work together to make sure that we strengthen the Black community, the Black brand all over the world. The second thing, people wanted to know why we protested. A lot of people have reached out to me just because they feel like protest is not effective for them, that we should not be protesting. Some people suggested that we should do other things. I'm not going to get into all the recommendations that I received from different people and different voices telling me what they believe we should do as Black people to fight for our rights. I'm not going to get into all of that, but I will just make some few things clear. Why it is important to protest and why we are protesting. Let's get that out of the way. And this goes for some of my white allies, as Martin Luther King also called them, the moderate white liberals, who may also not know and listening, and they want to understand why we are fighting and why we are marching. This is not only about George Floyd getting murdered in Minnesota. This is not only about Ahmaud Arbery being hunted by a vigilante neighborhood watch guy and his father and getting killed. This is not only about Breonna Taylor being attacked by a police military style and murdered in her sleep in the middle of the night in the comfort of her home. This is not about only that. Although all of these things are contributing factors to why we are marching. When we say Black Lives Matter, we are saying that until Black Lives Matter everywhere, Black Lives Matter nowhere. We're saying that it doesn't matter whether it is in the UK. We're saying it doesn't matter whether it is in Tanzania. We're saying it doesn't matter whether it is life of Solo Sandeng in Gambia. We say it doesn't matter whether it is the life of Eric Gardner in New York. We're saying that every single Black life matter. And until all Black lives matter, no Black life will matter. Let me tell you this. When you kill a Chinese person, you will hear from China. I guarantee you that. You go around killing Chinese people unjustly and the murderers walking away free, you will hear from China. When you go around killing Arabs, Arabic people, I guarantee you, you're going to hear from Saudi Arabia and the Middle East. When you go around killing Latino and Spanish people, I promise you, you're going to hear from Latin America. When you go around killing Jewish people, you will hear from Israel. Who do you hear from when you kill a Negro? When you kill a Black man, who do you hear from? The Black man is the only person in this world, is the only culture, the only subgroup, the only race in this world that do not have an organized central government system that speak up for its interests. The African Union is supposed to be there, but I'm not even gonna sit here and try to bash the African Union, right? We will do that another day. So I'm not even gonna get into the African Union and all the things I believe that they have not been doing. By the way, shout out to the former African Union ambassador to the US who got booted out of her seat. We all know why they got her out of there. But again, I will leave that for another day. I'm not trying to get into that now. So let's just get it real right now. When you kill a Black man, who do you hear from? Yeah, that's what you hear from. Cricket, nothing, nobody, right? So this is why it is important for us to protest. When we protest, we are not only protesting the singular event of killing individuals. We're talking about multiple of our people of African descent, whether it is in the Caribbean, whether it is Black in the Dominican Republic, right? I'm going there. Yes, I'm going there. Whether it is the Black in the Dominican Republic, whether it is the Lost African tribe in India, yes, we know. You Indian people in India, we know. Check it out. Google them. Google about the Lost African tribe in India. Whether it is the Lost African tribe in Mexico, living with our Latino and Spanish brothers in Mexico. Check it out. We're talking about them too. Whether it's our Black people in Sweden, whether it is Black people in France, whether it is Black people in Ghana or Senegal, we're talking about Black people everywhere. Injustice towards Black people anywhere is injustice towards Black people everywhere. And we are saying enough is enough. Enough is enough. And this doesn't go to only towards killing Black people. We're talking about bad governance to all you African dictators out there killing our brothers and sisters in Africa. We're calling you out too. We're saying that our lives matter. We see you. We see you, and we are coming for every single one of you all too. We see every single one of you. To all you terrible people, the politicians, right, who have racist agendas against our communities, we are talking about you too. To all these establishments that are put in place, this systematic racism, where you have people of color working in this work environment, and they don't get the right respect and the right recognition, and they don't get the right reward for the work that they do, is part of this Black Lives Matter. This is not just people's singular agenda. This is not a single agenda situation. We're talking about a combination of a systematic process put in place wherein Black people, irrespective of culture, irrespective of country citizenship, we are always at the bottom of the pyramid anywhere we go. The Black struggle is real. This is why we are protesting. This is why we are marching in the streets. And that's why every single Black person should be outraged. Every single Black person should be out peacefully marching with us to express our grievances about this systematic hate that has been put in place against Black people anywhere you go. This is why it is important for us to march. This is why it's important. And marching doesn't mean, protest doesn't mean only marching in the streets. Some of you are on social media. Keep it up. I am not here to bash anybody. I'm not expecting any single person to come and march with me as a matter of must. You have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with the fact that you want to go out in the streets to march. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, I am challenging you. Send a post, a social media post. Make an update about it. Write to your government, write to your politicians, write to your leaders, right? Mobilize your communities. Talk to somebody in your community. Talk to somebody. Do whatever you can. Protest doesn't necessarily mean just marching in the streets. There are multiple ways you can protest. Boycott some of these corporations that are empowering and sponsoring this system that continue to suppress and oppress Black people. Boycott them if you have to. This is not a single way. There is just not a single way. And I'm not saying that my way is the only way. I'm saying that I chose the path of our ancestors. Our ancestors marched when they had no voice. Our ancestors marched when they have no power. Our ancestors marched when they have no money. Our ancestors have nothing when their only allies was within themselves. So that's why today I'm going to continue that particular historic gesture, symbolism of marching with my fist in the air, with no arms, nothing but words. This is why I chose that. You don't have to choose that. You have other options. You can make sure you exercise those options, like I said. If you can do nothing else, make a social media post. Talk to your neighbor. Talk to your family. Enlighten your friends. Talk to somebody. If you can do none of that, work on yourself. Develop yourself. Read books. Improve on yourself. Because every single Black person who work on themselves, they are an addition to the Black community. We need you. So this is the reason why we protest. This is the reason why we march. It's not only about George Floyd in Minnesota. Before George Floyd was murdered in Minnesota, Eric Gardner was the first person who was choked in 2015 in New York. And the mother of Eric Gardner is walking free today. No harms. He is walking free. The police officer who murdered Eric Gardner when he was dying on the concrete in New York saying, "I cannot breathe," is walking free today. Before Arbery was hunted and murdered by a vigilante neighborhood watch guy, it was Trayvon Martin who was hunted down in Florida. George Zimmerman is walking free today in the streets of America. Free, not guilty. This is why we are outraged. This is not a single event. It's not a single incident. It's not a single issue. It's a multitude of issues that come together that shows how disfranchised the Black people are all over the world. That shows how Black people have been oppressed and suppressed globally. This is why we continue marching, and we're going to continue marching. Let's knock them down. Like I said, I have a list. I want to go through every single one of these things. Why? What are some of this false information surrounding riots all across the US? 1 second. What are some of these fake, false narratives that I've had about Black people all over the US? Before I get into that, let's listen to this one more time. Like I said, this young boy sang his soul out. This young boy spoke to my soul when he sang. The words he said are true to us. So let's listen to this young boy one more time, all right? Let's listen to it one more time.
I'm a young Black man doing all that I can to stay. Oh, but when I look around and I see what's being done to my kind, every day I'm being haunted as prey. My people don't want no trouble. We got enough struggle. I just wanna live. God live.
My brother Nyang Jai, my sister Jennifer Sise, thank you very much. We are all in the same boat, man. We are all in the same boat. Mm-hmm.
And I see what's being done to my kind.
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being haunted as prey. My people don't want no trouble.
No, we don't.
No struggle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I just wanna live. God protect me. I just wanna live.
We just wanna leave, y'all. We just wanna leave.
I just wanna live.
All right, man, let's get into this. I've seen a lot of false narratives about these riots. I'm on Twitter right now, 24/7, going at it with these racist right-wing folks. They're trying to control the narratives. They're trying to make us look like we are some thugs, that we are some demon and these monsters out here just after destroying our communities. Look here, man. I don't know what they're talking about. The people I am matching with, these are some very, very smart, intelligent people of all race and all color. I'm talking about doctors, lawyers, engineers, what's it called again? Bankers, all kind of people from all backgrounds, right? Blue collar workers, white collar workers. We are with all type of people. We are with Jews, we are with Hebrews, we are with Hindus, we are with Arabs, we are with Africans, we are with Caucasians, we are with Spanish people, every people from every corner of this earth. We are coming together and we are matching because, like I said earlier, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So when they're talking about that we are some thugs out here in the street matching, that is a lie. It's not true. The people I am matching with, and I am on the ground on some of these protest grounds, and I'm telling you what I am seeing, right? I am telling you what I am seeing. But I will tell you this though, when you go to some places, you will see some people who do not look like us, or at least who don't look like they are there for the same reasons why we are there. They are not with us. They show up, they dress in certain ways, they don't participate in the protest. They only participate when things start getting dark. Like yesterday, perfect example. We were there the entire evening, in the entire late afternoon into the early evening. The sun was bright. These people were standing on the pavements. They were not even on the streets marching with us. And I saw them, and I told some of my colleagues, watch them. These are the people, as soon as it gets dark, they will come out and they will start rioting, and they will blame it on us. But guess what though? The police officers were not there looking for people like that. No, they were more focused on our blackness. They are more focused on our black skin, peacefully protesting and marching, than these other people who are right there, these right-wing hate groups who are there sometimes planning and trying to disrupt the peaceful protest that we have. And they ignore those people deliberately and focus on us, even though we are the one peacefully marching. So the question is, why are they ignoring those people? I see them, I'm sure the police officers saw them too. These people were not there to march. Matter of fact, some of the slogans that they were using are not some of the slogans you will see used among the Black Lives Matter movement. They use words like "fuck the D12." We are not there. You don't use slogans like that. This is not an issue with the drug enforcement agents or the DEA. No, this is not about that. So why are they out there with those hidden agendas? You will see the slogans that they use are different from the slogans that we use. You will see the way they dress sometimes. They come dressed riot ready, gas masks, everything. All we had on was masks to make sure that we protect ourselves and make sure that we are consistent with the WHO recommendation of social distancing and wearing masks in public. These people are hard on gas masks. We don't have those kind of equipment. So why are the police not looking out for the people like that? But no, they're not going after those kind of people. They are more focused on our blackness. They are more threatened by our blackness. And like I tell people, they are not against protests, y'all. Kaepernick kneel, and they are still against them, peacefully. The Vice President of the United States of America walked out of a football game My parents, he walked out of a football game because the football players kneeled during the national anthem. What could be more peaceful than a black man taking a knee? This is not about protest, y'all. This is about our existence. These people are against our blackness. They are against our existence as a people. They are against our claim to humanity as our people. And this is where the issue is. We are not protesting against anyone. We are not against protecting against the police. We are not saying the blue lives don't matter. That's none of our business. We are protesting for our own survival. We are saying that we matter. We are saying that we deserve to live. We are fighting for our rights to exist as human beings. We are not fighting against anyone. So if you fight a problem with our blackness, then you have a problem with us. We don't have a problem with you. These are the issues that we are fighting for. These are the issues that are here, that are affecting us. So when people say that there are riots happening, let's look at some of the instigators of these riots. A friend of mine sent me a link earlier today in Minnesota. Yesterday it has been pretty quiet and pretty peaceful in Minnesota for the most part. There was not too many riots yesterday or too many protests organized by the Black Lives Matter movement in Minnesota yesterday. But buildings were still on fire. Who were the people putting those buildings on fire? Are law enforcement deliberately not seeing that? Why are they not going after those people? This is what we are saying. So we are out here marching peacefully. We are not here to start trouble with anyone. We are not here fighting against anyone. We are fighting for our own rights, for our own existence. And this is what I want the police to understand. We are not looking at police as our enemy. We are not calling white people as our enemy. We are saying that we need all of you as our allies. And tell your friends to stop killing us. Tell you are a good police officer, tell your bad friend to stop killing us. Why is it that every time a black man gets killed by a bad police officer, there are no good police officers around to stop them? Why is it that? Why is it that every time a white neighborhood vigilante decided to pick up a gun and kill a black man, there are no white good neighbors who comes out and stop him from shooting us? Why is it that? This is what we're saying. It's no longer enough for white people to tell us that I am not racist. We are challenging white people to now stand up alongside with us to make sure that they are against racism. No longer being racist is not enough for us anymore. You want to hear from you to say that you are not only racist, but you are against racism. And you're going to become our allies and work with us to make sure you weed out some of the racist people that you know. Your racist neighbors that you live with, your racist family members that you know, call them out. Your co-workers, your buddies who are racist, call them out. That's what we are challenging everyone to do right now. So all the good police officers, we are not saying that there are no good police officers. We are saying that at this point, we don't know. Because every single time a black man gets killed, there are no good police officers around to stop them from killing us. Every single time a black man gets killed by a white man in uniform, there are no good police officers who come out and testify against them. Why is it that the only time we hear about good police officers is when there is nothing going on, when everything is good? No, we want to see these good police officers when we are being killed, when we have been murdered in the street and left in our own blood. We want to see the good police officers come out and stop their partners from killing us. And if they cannot stop them, we want to see them in court, making sure that they get justice for people who have been hurt and murdered. We want to see that. We are not against police officers. We are saying that we want the good police officers to step up and come to the front line. Like in the song of Eminem, if you're Slim Shady, please stand up, right? If we're Slim Shady, all the real Slim Shadys, please stand up. Eminem, that's what we're calling all white cops right now, all black police officers, all men in blue. If you are a good police officer, please stand up. When you see us getting murdered by your partners, please stand up. When you cannot stop them, please stand up in court and testify against the bad cops. Let's work together and weed these bad cops from the system. And if you're a white person, this is the same expectations we have for you. Help us stop your bad neighbors from calling the police on us. When you see us doing nothing but minding our business in your neighborhood, don't call the police on us. And if you see someone calling the police on us, when the police arrive, don't just stay wait, or don't stay inside your house on videotape or recorders. Come outside and tell the police officer and defend us, because the police are already there to shoot. Come out and stop us. Stop them from killing us. Speak up for us. Defend us when we cannot defend ourselves. That's what we're asking all our allies and our friends right now, right? So this is what we are saying. We are not against anyone. We are just here to work with everyone to make sure that we find peace and we make sure that we stay protected in the streets. That's all we're saying. So this false information that black people are here rioting and starting problems is not true. We are not in the street rioting to start problems. But I will say this. Yeah, let me sit up for this one. I will say this. Like I said earlier, the black struggle is not monolithic. I have never lost somebody close to me due to police violence or due to hate crimes. I have never lost a family member due to police violence or due to hate crimes. For that reason, I cannot sit here and tell you how other people of color may react if they feel like they have lost someone close to them due to hate violence, due to hate crimes. I cannot speak for them. The black struggle is not monolithic. If you kill people, you cannot tell them how they should react. I cannot tell you how an angry mother, how an angry son, how an angry father, how an angry daughter, how an angry sister will react when you kill their family members. That is not in my place. I'm not here to apologize for them, and I'm not here to tell them they are wrong if they act otherwise, and even they decided to act in a riot. I'm not here to say that they are wrong. That is not in my place. What I would challenge you is maybe we should stop the reasons why people are rioting to begin with. Maybe we should stop doing the things why people are protesting. You think I love to protest? Nobody, listen to me, man. Let me get this straight for everyone to get. We don't like protesting. Matter of fact, let me get this straight. I love ice cream. Yes, I am one of those guys who love ice cream. On a weekend, in the spring or in the summertime, I'd rather be somewhere eating ice cream instead of being in these streets in the face of police officers with armor gears on, with war gears on, with riot gears on. I'd rather be somewhere sitting cool, chilling, and eating my ice cream. I don't like to protest. And none of my friends, I've never met a friend either at these grounds who love to protest. We are protesting out of necessity. So if you don't want us in the streets, stop killing us. Stop the injustice towards the black skin. Stop injustice towards black communities. That's all you gotta do. And if you cannot speak up for justice, don't come and talk to me about peace. I am not advocating for violence, no. But what I'm saying is, if you are not out here advocating for justice, please don't come to me talking about violence. I don't want to hear you. Go talk to them with your friends. We are here because of justice. Injustice led to people protesting. So if people have an issue with that, maybe they should start fighting for other people to have justice. That's all you gotta do. If you want black people to stop protesting, all you have to do is stop causing or doing things to black people that would force us to go out and protest. That's all I'm saying. And then we will get to one of my final topics here, which is what can our white allies do? I think I've already touched on this. I have a lot of white friends who will come up to me sometime and say to me, what can we do? What can we do? Right? We want to support. What can we do? Well, first thing you can do is, if we are protesting, if you can, come and march with us, right? One thing I have learned about hate, people don't change until they can find empathy. People who hate do not stop hating until they can find empathy in the people that they hated. They can find some form of a commonality, right? The people who are shooting and killing us, they will not stop maybe until they see somebody they can empathize and they can see themselves in. So some of you white people who want to know what you can do, as Martin Luther King called you the moderate whites, come and work with us. If you see us marching, come and march with us. We encourage every single one of you to come out and march with us. And yesterday, and the days before that, and the days before that, and the days coming up, I see a lot of people, a lot of white people, people from different backgrounds, people from different ethnicities, Arabs, Chinese people, all kind of people marching with us, and I appreciate that. That meant a lot to me and almost every other person that I know. So we need more of you all to come out there doing that. When you see us marching, come and march with us. When you see us protesting, come and protest with us. When you see us boycotting, come and boycott with us. But if you cannot do that, if you cannot come and march and protest with us, I understand. Like I said, I don't force everyone to come and march with me, right? You have to be comfortable in your own skin to be able to do this. This is not for everybody. Every day I go out there to march, I'm scared to death. I'm not doing this because I love it. I'm not doing this because I enjoy it. It's scary. It's scary to be marching and watching police officers with police dogs. It's scary to be marching, watching police officers with guns and tear gas. It is scary to be marching, to be watching policemen in armor gear. It's scary. So I'm not saying that this is fun, and I'm not asking everyone to do it. But this is what I would tell you if you cannot do it. For all you white friends who wanted to know what else you can do, here's another thing you can do. Speak against racism. If you see Karen being racist towards a black person, a black woman, speak up. If you see Barbecue Debbie hitting on a black person, barbecuing at just in a park somewhere, speak up. If you see Mike trying to call the police on a young black man at the pool this summer, just trying at a community pool, just trying to swim, step in, speak up. Speak up for us when we cannot speak up. These are little things that you can do, right? Every single time. When you are working with a black co-worker who's working at your company for years, and you realize that they have been neglected, they have been literally avoided because they are qualified, they are working hard, they are not getting any promotions, they are not getting any opportunities, and you know very well they are very deserving, speak for them. Speak for us when we cannot speak for ourselves, right? So it's not every day that police kill black people. That is the extreme version of it. It's not every day that police put us in a chokehold and held us there until we die. That is not every day. But some of the things that will happen every day in your communities, you see them. Every day you see them, right? At your workplace, you see racism in your workplace. Speak up. In your neighborhood, you see racism in your neighborhood. You are a white person, you enjoy these privileges, speak up for the minorities in your communities who cannot speak up for themselves. These are the things that you can do. Not only we say, one, you come and march with us, come and protest with us, come and boycott with us. If you cannot do that for us, speak up for us when we cannot speak for ourselves. Speak up. If you cannot do that, here's a third thing you can do. Educate yourself. Don't come to me and tell you about racism. Nah, you've been in this country longer than I've been in America. You born and raised here. You know about this more than I do. So educate yourself. Google stuff. Go on social media. Read books. Watch documentaries. Do what you have to do. Heck, if you want recommendations, I have 2 books. Read it. I have 2 books. I talked about these issues in America. I talked about race in America. I talked about black in America. Read it. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. This is something that you can do to help your black friends. As a Caucasian, as a white friend, these are some of the things I will encourage for you to do. Do that. Another thing that you can do is talk to your community. Talk to your children. Talk to your neighbors. Talk to your family members. If you know better, sensitize them. Help your kids understand the importance of diversity and inclusion. Help your kids understand the importance of tolerance. Do the same thing with your neighbors. Do the same thing with your family members. All of those things are important. So for that reason, I will encourage you, please go ahead and do that. Speak to your community, speak to your friends, speak to your family, speak to people that that are close to you. It's important. Tell them, talk to them about tolerance, talk to them about acceptance, talk to them about diversity, talk to them about inclusion. It's very important. Your jobs, encourage it. Talk to your boss about inclusion and diversity. All of those things are important and appreciated. We want all of those things, right? And the last but not the least, our white allies. If you know a racist white politician, please don't vote for them. If you know that your white politician is racist, don't vote for them, because you know they will enact laws and policies that are going to be against minorities in your communities. So don't act like you don't know. Donald Trump already told you what he is about. So you know what Donald Trump feelings are towards people of color and minority in this country. If you voted for Donald Trump, you are not helping. And this is not only about Donald Trump. This is about Democrats too. We have some do-nothing Democrats here in public offices as well. We're saying that if you know these people who have policies that are against the people of color and minorities, please speak up. Write to them. Let them know. And most importantly, do not vote for them. Do not vote for them. Go out and vote. And when you vote, make sure you vote for people who are not racist. Make sure you vote for people who are not advocating for policies that are racist, that are marginalizing people of low-income communities, people of different sex or gender, people of different gender, people of different sexualities, right? Yeah, if you know that your politician is against gay people, and you said you love your gay friends, but you keep on voting for the politician, you cannot call that love. You are against your gay friends because you are voting for politicians who are against their interests. If you say that you love black people and you are with your black friends, you love your black community, but you are voting for politicians who enact laws, who pass bills and policies that are against people of minority, you don't love your friends. You are actually working against their interests. So challenge yourself with those things. These are some of the key things that I wanted to discuss with you all. But someone said something here on my comments right now I would like to address. Let me take my glasses for this, man, because I want to make sure that this dude, I don't know whether it's a dude or a male or a female, the name is Pepito. I think it's a Pepito. The question is, what do you propose should be a solution-based approach with the black-on-black crimes that is ravaging on our communities in America? Let me get this straight. I'm not here to talk about black-on-black crime. Yes, I said it. Look at me. Yeah, read my lips. I'm not here to talk about black-on-black crimes, okay? When we have another day to talk about black-on-black crimes, you can ask me that question. Today, we are talking about crimes committed against people of color and minorities by non-minorities and them walking away free. That's what we're talking about here. We are not saying that when other people commit crimes against other people and them going to jail. That's not why we're here, for the most part. For the most part, why we're here is when minorities are killed or crimes committed against minorities by other subgroups, they do not pay for the crime. In America today, black people are only 15%. 15%. Go do the math yourself. What is less? They are less than 50. We are less than 15% of American population of over 300 million people. I'm not here to do the math for you. Go do the math for yourself, right? But in the prison system, black males are 37% of the prison system. Let's take a second and think about that. No, let us sink in for a second. In a country where black people are less than 15%, we make up 37%, more than twice our population size in the prison system. So when Leroy killed Deontay, Leroy goes to jail. Oh yeah, when Leroy kills Deontay, when Leroy steals from Deontay and they get caught, they go to jail. That's not my problem. Then they should go to jail, rightfully so. What my problem is, when Bob killed Leroy, Bob walks free. That's my issue here. So we are not going to talk about black-on-black crime here today, okay? When we go out sensitizing about COVID-19, no one goes about and say, what about cancer? We are not saying that cancer is not important, but today we are in a pandemic of COVID-19. So we will talk about COVID-19. Today we are in a pandemic of the hate against our black skin, and that's what we are going to talk about. So if you want to go talk about black-on-black crime, go have your own platform. Invite me. I will come and have the conversation with you. I will give you proposed solutions that we can do. But let me make this thing straight for you. When you look at the way our the economic disparity in this country, right? You will understand why crimes in certain neighborhoods are higher compared to others. It's just common sense. It's simple math, right? When people are hungry, they will demand to eat. And when you put crabs in a barrel, they will knock each other down. This is the truth. This is just what it is. I'm not here to excuse anything. I'm just calling it how it is, right? So if we want to change some of the things in the Black community, we need to make sure that we give Black people opportunities, give them jobs so that they can get out of the hood. Hire them, give them equal opportunities. When they ask for loans to start businesses, give them business loans. Black women has proven that they are the highest ratio of entrepreneurship in the entire world. Black women, yes. Black women have the highest ratio of entrepreneurship in the entire world. But when you look at income and bank loans and whatnot, they are the lowest. They're at the bottom. Why is that? Give them loans. Give them money to start businesses. Okay, improve the school system in the communities. Improve the public school system. You are a product of your environment. We are products of our environment. Build some very, very resilient, effective public school system. Make sure they have enough amenities. Make sure they have enough qualified teachers. Make sure they have enough classrooms. And make sure that the kids from an early age, from kindergarten all the way to university, the opportunities are there for young Black men and women to go to school. That will help reduce crime in the Black community. Wouldn't you think? Yeah, let's build schools. Let's improve our school system in the Black communities. Let's provide jobs to Black people when they graduate from school in the Black communities. Let's give money and loan and grants and subsidies to Black people who are in entrepreneurship like we do for other communities. Let's get rid of redlining. Yes, redlining, Google it, look it up, you know what it is. I'm not here to teach you all those details. Use your own time and educate yourself. Find out about redlining. Make sure that Black people can buy houses and they can live in communities that they want. Make sure that we get rid of plunging down the housing market in Black communities, kick them out, gentrify the place, lift up the price, and then we move in other people again. So we have to be straight up, right? You cannot just say to stop crime. How are you going to stop crime? You put a bunch of poor people in a poor environment with nothing, with drugs and guns. What do you think they're going to do? What do you expect they're going to do? So yeah, do the right thing. Black people do not make guns. Why do we have guns in the hood? Did you hear me? Black people do not import guns into this country. Why do we have guns afloat all over the Black community? Black people do not import drugs into this country. Why do we have drugs all over the Black community? Ask yourself that question. So if we want to change crime in the Black community, let's do the right thing. Let's improve our public school system. Let's make sure that we improve our healthcare system in the hood. Let's make sure that we stop sending Black fathers to jail and leaving Black women to raise Black men by themselves. Yes, change the laws, change the policies that will keep Black men at home to allow them to raise their kids and make them stop and help them stop making mistakes that they make. These are simple facts. I'm not just saying things out of my mind. No, these are facts. You can look it up. You can look it up. Statistics have shown that Black men are the most present parents in their kids' life among all subgroups. But yet we have been stereotyped to be the most absentee fathers in our communities, which is not true. But if you put a bunch of Black men, like 37% of your prison system is made up of Black men, of course you're gonna have a problem raising Black kids in the hood. Of course you're gonna have that. When they don't have any OGs to teach them to do the right thing, what do you think they're gonna do? What? George Floyd is an OG in his community. Go Google it up. He is the one who talked to young gangbangers in his community about the dangers and the issues surrounding gangbanging. And he is killed by the police. So that's one less Black man in the hood who was helping uplift the hood. Who's gonna do it now? But anyway, these are the key things I wanted to discuss with you all. I appreciate you all logging in. I appreciate you all logging in. We can all do a thing or two in our part. We are all one way or the other responsible. The Black community, no one person is more powerful or has more voice than the other. We all need every single person. If you have one follower on your timeline, speak to them, inspire them, motivate them, teach them, uplift them. That's what we are about right now. When I say we have a continent to build, I meant that. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you are an African in America, whether you are an African in Europe, whether you are an African in Africa, we have a continent to build. But that doesn't mean that we will stop talking about injustice that happening to Black people all over the world. So once again, This is just to remind every single one of you. I love you all. You are all kings and queens. We are not children of a lesser God. And the words of Dr. Biggie Smalls. For all of you, if you don't know, now you know. Thank you very much. God is love. And I will get back to my tune. And I love this. I will get back to this tune right now. There you go.
I'm a young black man doing all that I can to stand. Oh, but when I look around and I see what's being done to my kind, every day I'm being hurt.
Thank you, Amidiver. Thank you, everyone. Saikou Camara. I love you all. Kemo. Thank you, Kemo. Appreciate you all, man. Thank you.
I just wanna live. God protect me. I just wanna live. I just wanna live. I'm a young